What do you need? For the Horde. What do you need? For the Horde.
Damn, dude, those gloomweed bindings are actually selling. That's crazy. I did not anticipate that. Very pleasantly surprised. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Here in like a half hour, I have to get a lasagna out the oven. No, it's all for me. That one's all for me. I give my family scraps. We got 3 skills to go till we can finally start getting some iron. Oh, tin vein. I might need to go to wetlands and just get silver. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I'll take it out tomorrow and I'll take all that stuff out tomorrow and see what I would need to have. Illyria gets murked at the end of one of the raid fights in the skybox. Who's Illyria? Is that a new story character? Penbane? Sylvanas' sister. I never knew she had one. I wasn't a big undead player. This is the worst zone. Worst zone by far. So what is Sylvanas? Oh. I just want the 10 thing, you know? Right. Okay, yeah, so that's what I was assuming. And her sister is something completely else? Dude. Watch this guy just pop up there and take it. Watch him. He's getting ready to do it. Aha! For one hit. Hey, it gave me a skill up. That's all I needed. That's all I cared about. 2 more and I'm into the iron. Horde starting zones were brutal. Yeah. Well, it's because they developed Eastern Kingdoms and then they started developing Kalimdor, and they were like, "Oh man, we got a release next week, so we just got to throw a bunch of crap together and call it a starting zone for the Horde." Probably wasn't that bad, but that's what it feels like sometimes. Oh, it's a playable race too. Okay. Yeah, like I said, dude, it's been so basically Cataclysm. I did some of the raiding, and I actually liked the arena and stuff and the raiding. What made me quit WoW was I went and re-rolled a new character to play with somebody who was starting fresh or whatever, and we were leveling up during Cataclysm, and that's what made me be like, you know, they murdered it. Like, what did they do? This is horrible. But you know, and that's pretty much the way I've felt about retail since then. Is just if you're already invested and you're already uh, into the end game, or if you just want to race to the end game, it's very good for that. But if you like personally, leveling's my favorite part. I usually once I get to the point where I'm just like, you know, raid logging and farming world buffs and all that stuff. It just I don't want to do that. It's depressing. Well, honestly, I think so. If the revamp was just the world revamp, I don't think it would have been that bad for me personally. But that was also when they did away with the entire talent system, and then that's when they implemented the thing of once you get to level 10, you literally pick which one of the specs you want to be. Oh yeah, dude, with Nick leaving the team, not a good omen at all. I I was on their Discord and it's pretty tense over there. Well, it is now. It is now. But I'm talking about when they first introduced it. they you literally once every 10 or 15 levels made a choice between 2 or 3 abilities, and that was your build. But since was it BFA that they like brought back talents in general, and since then it looks like it's gotten pretty in depth. I'm not sure how much you can do with it, like as far as customization, but yeah, that's I was actually talking to Alex, is Alex Sensual. Um he's been a content creator around Pantheon and Monsters and Memories and stuff for a while. And yeah, the toxic positivity thing, I had been noticing it for like probably about 6 months now. Anytime in the Discord, anytime you would voice an opinion of anything that was different than the way it is now, everybody would get, it was like you just get dogpiled. Like, and so I knew it was going to be a problem, and the whole situation with Nick just kind of made everyone realize how bad it really is. Real see that? Yeah, that's got to go. That's got to go. Because when you can start drawing a lot of parallels between your game's community and a community like Ashes of Creation's community, you got problems. Because they were essentially a cult by the end of it. Like, even after the news broke and it was like, all right, yeah, it's a scam. He ran away with millions of dollars and all that stuff. There were people that were still shutting it down until just like the very last, like they were just dying on that final hill, holding on to the last shred of doubt. But yeah, I was definitely disheartened when I heard how things had went down, which we still don't know much. Like, we don't know what the situation was exactly, but the way it looks isn't good. Well, what it is, there's a small group of people that linger in the Discord and they want the game to literally just be EverQuest. I love EverQuest. Love it so much. But there are things that newer games did better than EQ, and they weren't things that would ruin the EQ experience. You know what I mean? It was stuff that definitely could have fit into EQ and just improved on things they were already trying to do with the game. And a lot of it was just technical limitation stuff. It wasn't even like a design difference, a design philosophy difference. Has any information come out about like the reason behind him? Because he was a co-owner. Him and Sean, like Nick, Sean, and Ollie were they founded the company. They were the first 3 people involved. So I don't even see how he was able to get fired in the first place. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out here in just a minute. Because, yeah, it would have to be a damn good reason. And they already said there's nothing criminal, so he wasn't like, I mean, I don't know how you can embezzle money from a project that's literally not taking any money from the outside. But, like, he put 5 years of his life, put his own money into the project, developed all the classes as they are now up to this point, plus whatever else. He was the designer, so it was all him setting up the architecture basically of what it was going to be, the vision. And just to be removed a month, 2 months out from when money was going to come in, it just seems shady. One second. I gotta make my dog a place to lay. He keeps on getting in the way of everything. Well, she's gonna have to learn to help herself. Big thing I have is robot training people to shit on social media, whether it's Discord, Reddit, Twitch, about the situation, or even criticism of the beta. Yeah, well, see, that's because I have seen him state definitively that, we don't want toxic positivity. It's hurtful. It ruins communities and all that stuff, and we don't want that here, and yada yada. But then I have seen him turn around and do things, say things that basically directly contradict that and invite toxic positivity. So part of me, it seems like he's just saying that because he knows how most people feel about that kind of thing. So he doesn't want to come off as a guy that's trying to promote that kind of behavior. But he seems to really, really, really be light-handed with the people who are the worst about it, and then he seems to drop the hammer on anybody that has a criticism, even if it's just like a valid, like lukewarm, barely, just real calm, constructive criticism, and people are following his lead. Yeah, it's for feedback. Yeah, it's literally why you have a beta. It's for positive. It's not just for people to pat you on the back and say how great you're doing. It's people saying, "Hey, this could use some work," and it's for people to give detailed stuff because they have hands-on experience now, not just like high level. Maybe you should go in this direction, but like, hey, this mechanic is working poorly. Maybe you should change this and this about the mechanic to make it work better. Like detailed feedback. That's what a beta's for. Yes, that's because there was last time I played, I was definitely thinking like, the class identity was there. They all definitely, felt unique. they had that down. They copied what they needed to from EverQuest and replicated that well. And then with the classes that they came up with themselves, they did a good job of making them feel and play distinct. Balance wasn't perfect because, you know, obviously how could it be at that point, but it was good, but there were problems, and it seemed like it was on a good path basically. But then right when we're thinking all this stuff is going to be getting worked on because early access is in 2 months, then all of a sudden their lead designer who's in charge of making those changes and who's a co-owner gets removed from the company under, you know, mysterious circumstances. And he's clearly not happy about it. I mean, like, everything I've seen was him basically hinting at him being kicked to the curb and thrown aside. And then I saw I went in the Discord and there were people like, well, he clearly must not have been pulling his weight. I'm sorry, I understand the pulling your weight comment, but if you are a co-founder and if you have been with that project for 5 years and up until now everything's been fine, but right before the money comes in, that's when you cut someone out. I don't think that's about someone pulling their weight. I think that's about someone they're wanting to divide it 2 ways. They're not wanting to divide that money 3 ways. You know what I mean? It's like when the Joker is robbing the bank or whatever in the whatever the new Batman movie. He leaves his underlings and lets them decide who wants the money, and they all shoot each other. That's what it seems like is going on right now over at Niche Worlds. Yeah, Ali, that's who I'm talking about. Because I mean, I'm not saying I didn't keep up with absolutely everything they were doing, but I was always under the impression that Nick and Sean were the co-owners. And I heard Sean mention Ali, but I never heard him say, "Oh, our third co-owner or whatever." Um, Motherfuckers, thief. But like I didn't keep up with it that much, so could have just missed it 100%. But it was weird that all of a sudden now they're very intentionally putting him up as, oh no, it was the 3 of us, because it would look worse if Sean got rid of the only other co-owner, I guess. Oh, you're talking about someone. There's a 4th? See, I haven't heard about that at all. So, again, this isn't as bad as Ashes of Creation because, you know, clearly they haven't asked for anybody's money yet, so that's a huge thing. And also, they never said we don't have anybody owning the company except for this person and this person. They never explicitly stated that, but it doesn't feel great that it's like, you know, these changes happen and it seems like there's multiple other people who were supposedly owning the company, owning portions of the company, who weren't really involved until now. Yeah, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. But I mean, I could be completely wrong. Maybe he did do something that really just like warranted getting removed. Um, he didn't seem like that kind of guy, but I didn't know him very well. I'd only talked to him in chat like twice, I think, during the last couple stress tests. But like every person that I have spoken to that knew him more, it's just like unanimously, oh, he's an awesome guy. There's one dude that's developing an MMO, and apparently he went out of his way to help that guy. Like, I don't know what his help was, but you know, he took time at least to help this dude who's trying to make an indie MMO on his own or with a super small team or whatever the case was. Yeah, it was a can of Kirkland's, and that was on his stream. That was sort of like an inside thing because he was always drinking Kirkland's, and the image was of a Nero. Get out, Nero! Back! Quit doing that, buddy. Blinding me. Uh, the image of the crushed up can of Kirkland's thrown in the gutter. I feel like that was, you know, pretty pretty overt symbolism because the Kirkland's can to people in his chat, that's it represents him, you know what I mean? So I think the image was supposed to portray him being, you know, beat up and thrown in the gutter basically. Yeah, it's just not good. Even though like I'm operating off of just the same information as everybody else, which is next to none, I can't help but have that feeling that something shady happened. He got pushed out, and I don't think it was related to his work performance. Because clearly, how would he have been there this long? You know what I mean? If he was just not doing his job and blah, 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 whatever people in Discord are saying, he wouldn't have been there right up until the early access release. That seems like they're trying to increase their shares of the profits that are about to come in June. Again, could be wrong. Could be, you know, maybe Sean's the hero in this. But he never seemed like a guy like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know these people personally, so I can't say, but all I could say is if I started a project with a group of buddies that I played played Project 1999 with for years, who, you know, we all set out together to do this thing, I could not imagine when we're after 5 years, however long, we're within 2 or 3 months of this thing finally launching, where all the money we've put in out of our personal money, all the time we've put in that we could have been doing any other thing, I couldn't imagine pushing someone out who was that foundational at that point. Unless they did something terrible, which, and again, they said he did nothing illegal, so it can't be embezzlement or anything, you know, I just can't think of a reason that would be good enough. And at this point, it would have to be a good reason. Because no shit, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really looking forward to Monsters and Memories. It's my like number one. Like I cannot wait to get in and play. If I found out that they removed him over some bullshit, over greed, whatever, I will literally never play that game. And that is so depressing to even think about, but I will literally never play that game if that comes out to be the truth. Because hell, I wanted to play the EverQuest, the TLP that they were going to come out with, but you know, when they shut down Hero's Journey and they, you know, handicapped Quorum and stuff and Project 99, I swore off Daybreak Games and said I'd never give them another cent of my money, and I'm so, you know, forevermore I will never play another Daybreak Games title. Even if they launch EQ3 and it's the coolest game, I'll never touch it. Unless ownership changes. I'll be here on Turtle WoW. Because people need to get paid. Well, that doesn't sound the most confident of the release. I mean... Okay, and you know what? Here's the thing. If that, say they are just getting to the point where like, hey guys, we gotta start getting some money in, and say it got focused on Nick because his classes weren't done and all that stuff, and I think the community would have been 100% willing to overlook a lot of flaws to support that team. But after this, I think that they're going to be judged much more harshly just because of this situation. I think a lot of people in the community would have given them pass after pass for, you know, whatever issues they could have. But now that they've done this with Nick, I think it's put a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and I think they're going to be much more harsh on the game. Yeah, I got that really... I got that same feeling from it when I heard... I was like... Because I was keeping up with Ashes a little bit. I didn't play it, but everyone was saying, oh, you know, it needs a ton of work, It's still a long way to go. Then they talk about a Steam release. I was like, that sounds like they're desperate. And when Monsters and Memories was doing it, and they were like, yeah, June of this year, I was like, man, we're still doing stress tests. And you're talking about an early access, which you can say early access, that's launch. In the world of today, it's launch. There is no beta, there is no, you know what I mean? So I was a little bit worried, but I was like, you know what? It's going to be fine. Now this has happened, and my whole way of looking at it has changed. Now I'm starting to view it through that Ashes of Creations lens. Oh, I gotta get lasagna out of them. Give me 1 minute. Alright, I'm back. In. Go. Oh, listen, I can't make that jump anyway. God, I hate this zone. I hate these all around all the pillars. You gotta like run around and there'll be one little spot you can get up. And there's always a mob right there. One more level and I'll have fully spec'd into Vampiric Embrace. So I'll finally have my 2% mana return. Oh, nice. 124. I didn't even notice that. Just need one more mining skill, and I can get the iron. Close. And I just made this the Ancient Stone Crown. 4 mana per 5. And then right after, I did a run right after where I got these boots that got 2 mana per 5 on them. Now I'm about to get mana return on shadow damage, so. Trying to find a group to run RFK or Graveyard. Because there's like a ton of different spell damage items in there. Oh, 10. That son of a bitch attached to it. I swear, I wish this game had EverQuest PvP rules. Just be able to attack anybody. Because on Turtle WoW, it's not like the factions mean anything anyway. Everything's cross-faction. You might as well just make the PvP server just, you know, free-for-all. On 125. Ugh. I've hit like 20 of these, maybe even 30. And got maybe 2 skill ups. Yeah, I'm really hoping to get into RFK so I can get this. The Death Speaker Scepter. 7 Shadow. Because I got a really good offhand that I'm either about to be able to craft, or if I get lucky in Graveyard, I can loot the one from the guy in Graveyard. And actually in Graveyard they added this on their custom boss. What's the new boss's name? Duke Dreadmore. It's a trinket that gives 13 shadow damage on it. Crazy. There might be an emergency about to happen. Need to remember to hold on to these sharp claws, because I can make these cloth wrists 9 stamina. I know if I was a warlock or something, dude, I would definitely get them bad boys. What is that, like 2v2 arena, but you queue solo and just hope you don't get a dunce? And teams rotate every... So it's like you go into the match 3v3, so 6 people, and for every round it's those same 6 people being grouped up in different combinations. That just sounds ridiculous. And it's rated, so like if you know, your wins and losses actually matter. That's wild. What's your rating at right now? I'm only familiar with like Burning Crusade rating scales, where you start off at 1500, and then if you get to 1800, that's pretty good. If you get to like 1900, that's doing really good, but the best teams were like 2000 to 2100 rating. So if it's different than that, I might not, the numbers might not mean much to me. But where are you standing now? You start at 0. Oh, okay. Yeah, at some point I think they revamped the system to make a little more sense. Iron deposit everywhere. This would be so great if I could actually harvest it now. Oh, okay, I see. The catalyst is basically a token for turning in for gear. Gotcha. Yeah, I remember. I think it was like if you wanted the current, whatever the current season was, if you wanted that season's uh, pauldrons, I think you had to have like 1850. Then what was it? Then the weapon was like 1900, I think. Yeah, it's been a long time, but it made it really cool when you saw somebody that had, the full kit of the current season. I always liked it. I miss when they would do the arena sets were just recolored raid tier sets. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure they're better now, but there for a while, the arena sets were just so dumb. Like, if you look at the season 4, right at the end of Burning Crusade, it was just the dumbest looking gear. There was no individuality between classes. It was just like, here's the plate, the mail, the leather, and the cloth, and they all look the same. I remember it was season 1. I remember getting my season 1 shoulders on my hunter, and they had like there's like a dragon skull thing, and it had like the green gas coming out of the mouth, the open mouth. It was so cool. And I was an orc, so the pauldrons were giant. Burning Crusade Hunter set tier sets were like very cool looking. Because it's awesome. That's what's with them in giant pauldrons. Dude, I would seriously pick races based on what the helmets look like on them and how big are their shoulder pads or their pauldrons. Because if you look at, say, all right, if I was going to play a warrior, I would never play a troll because trolls Shoulders, they're alright. They're like the moderate human size, maybe a little bit smaller. But if you look at this is always the one that'll tell you. This is like the most important benchmark for whether I'm going to roll a warrior with this race or not. Let's see, Razorfin Downs. And it is Coldbreaker. Ice Metal Barbute. Look at that. Look how unbelievably stupid that looks. Well, see, it's not the armor. The Ice Metal Barbute looks awesome. It's the way they... First, I don't even understand their reasoning, but they would alter the helmets. It was mainly the helmets that would be closed face with just like a little slit in the opening, like that little T-shaped slit in the opening. Those were the worst. That's what this is supposed to be. But if you look at, let's see. One second, I'm going to switch you to display. Alright, so look, same helmet on a Tauren. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's cool. Now here's the thing I don't get. If you look at the shape of a Tauren's head, and then you look at the shape of a Troll's head, yeah, they're wonky, but they're not that much different. All they had to do was do what they did here. Stretch out this portion to go further. Let the tusks clip. Who cares? Let them clip through. No one's worried about that. But look what they did to orcs, dude. Orcs are probably the closest, other than undead, they're probably the closest to human-shaped head on the Horde side. Look at this. Why? I really think it's about tusks not wanting to clip through. So they did this instead. Then you got human. Oh, perfect representation. Okay. So you can see the dimensions here. The lower part of the faceplate, like the cheek guards, they're supposed to be perfectly in line with the forehead section right here. So to make it fit on a Tauren, they just elongated it. They stretched out this portion, pulled it forward to because their snout or whatever. And they also just let the horns clip through because no one cares. Undead wear the same exact helmet model as the human. But then for orcs, they just completely ruined it. Made it look so stupid for no reason. Even gnomes. I think dwarves got screwed on it too. No, they didn't. It's a little bit elongated, but it's not bad. They kept the shape of it. Night elves, I mean, who really cares with night elves? But, you know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't play a race that's going to be a plate wearer that has helmets that look like that. Or if I have to, I'll just hide helm, or on Turtle WoW you can just transmog to one that looks cool. But that's something that has made me mad since 2005. And I'm just as mad about it today as I was then. Because it makes no sense. The more you think about it, the less sense it makes. I need to find out who did the 3D modeling for that, for Blizzard back then. All right, we'll do this. One more mining skill. It's all I want. Just gotta find one more 10. Man, leveling jewel crafting, it has been such a pain. And I feel bad because it's like I made it much harder on myself than it had to be. Because I just realized that there's a pattern that you can get, that you can learn at like 80 or something. And I'm at 157, and that pattern from 80 skill is still orange after 77 skill ups. It's still orange, and all it is 6 copper, 2 peace bloom, and 1 polishing oil. But you don't get it from a trainer, so I didn't know to look for it. So I was looking at the guide, and I guess the guide only recommends things that you learn from the trainer. But a good 25% of that guide could have been cut out. It could have went from 80 to, I don't know when it's going to not be orange or yellow anymore. But you literally could have went from 80 to like 170 or something, just making those. And I looked up the recipe to see how much it, because I was like, oh, it must be super expensive or rare or something. It was like a 2 silver recipe on the auction house. It might be, I'm confident that it's a bug. I don't think that it should work that way. I've never heard of any recipe lasting that long as orange. You're lucky usually to get 10 skill ups before it at least goes yellow. Oh god, dude. Oh. Nope. Oh, 10. There it is. Nope. You can tell this guy's having a good time. Still didn't get it, dude. This is depressing. Guess I bored him away, thank God. I know there's a 10 spawn up here somewhere. God damn. If you ever see a shadow priest, and he's clearly not in trouble, and he's killing a mob, don't jump in and steal the killing blow. You're not helping him. You're just robbing him of spirit tapping. Yep. Oh, please don't be someone on this. Please don't be someone on this. I know there's going to be someone on this. Some unflagged bitch night elf is going to pop up. Please, please, please. Dude. One more. Just one more skill. That's all I want. Run across the top here, see if I get any more luck. After dinner, I'm going to come back and I'm going to run some dungeons, do something a little more fun. I'm just so sick of being in the bronze phase. It's the worst. After iron, for me, smooth sailing. Happy as a clam. I don't know if clams are happy. Sound is a pound. 'Cause I'm a big boy, I can do what I please. Give me vodka, martini, and cheese. You know what, you motherfucker? You're getting stick. Get over here. Don't you die from that, you fucking coward. Sometimes you just gotta give them this stick, you know what I mean? What? How was he not aggroed on that guy that was literally just sitting AFK? But he aggroes me, who's 3 levels higher than the guy sitting there AFK. Most considerate mob ever. He's, I'm not going to attack him now. The guy's clearly not at the keyboard. That wouldn't be sportsmanlike. I wonder if I could do Arikara alone. It's an elite quest, but I don't know if it's just a single mob. I think I'm good. Because I just did the elite panther, and he was the same level as me. He wasn't green like this one is. And I beat him handedly. Handily, however you say that. Forgot I was in queue. Shit, I gotta eat dinner in just a second. Damn, dude. Right when it pops, too. Nah, I gotta do it. I gotta go out there and... I got some cinnamon butter. And some Hawaiian sweet rolls I'm gonna heat up. Gonna be good. Have some lasagna with some rolls with the cinnamon butter, like they have at Texas Roadhouse, places like that. I think it's like a honey cinnamon butter or something. I would like to get this last motherfucking... Scream. Scream about it. Damn, I'm about to say, you better have elemental water for me, boy. Or else we're just gonna have a problem. Ooh, crystal quartz. Even better, dude. Holy shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. That's money right there. I know I gotta make... There's a lot of really good jewel crafting pieces that require those. And I think this is on Nordinar. They were like several gold a piece. Like 3, 4, 5 gold a piece. I'm gonna hang on to that. Keep that for later. Almost died. Good God. Oh, it's still down there. Jeez. Yeah, dog. Why don't you roll one over here on Turtle WoW, where the real G's play. None of that pussy ass anniversary nerf shit. You guys play in the suburbs. Come on down here and play the Turtle WoW. Shit we play in the hood. Right now I'm trying to convince my one of my real good friends to play Turtle, but he's like hardcore into Burning Crusade Anniversary right now, dude. I don't know if he would mesh well with like the community here in general, because he's like all about parsing, and you know, he's the guy that gets mad and like, honestly, he's terrible. Like if he was anybody that I didn't know and I was in a group with him, I'd be like, yeah, I don't want to play with this guy anymore. But you know, we came up together. Literally, we were friends since met on War Rock shooter in 2004. Damn, dude, I've been friends with this guy for 22 years. That's crazy. But anyway, so he's all hardcore into, and we played WoW, you know, from the time of, like right before Burning Crusade launched, we started, and we played together literally every day for years, dude. Just sitting in Ventrilo every day for years. Oh, it was so fun. But yeah, anyway, so been trying to get him to play, and because he liked classic, like he liked, you know, regular classic and stuff, but he loves Burning Crusade, and that's the main thing, is like Burning Crusade is his favorite era. So it's kind of hard to pull him away from it when it's popular right now. But also this, you know, this server just isn't conducive to the sort of atmosphere he likes playing in, dude. He likes playing in the atmosphere of everyone's like trying to top the, you know, everyone's trying to parse. Everyone's trying to like push the, you know, do every single sweat lord thing you can. And Turtle WoW is very much different than that. I think once I have a 60 on here, that might be a good time to try and get him on board, because leveling to him is just a nuisance, right? He just wants to, you know, mob tag. He just wants to do whatever he can to just get through it as fast as possible. So if he's leveling while I'm still leveling, I think we'd end up arguing too much and shit, because I just don't like playing that way. I prefer the leveling side of the game. But once I have a 60, I wouldn't mind helping him level up like that. And then he can be 62, and then we can actually start doing the in-game stuff. I just need one 10 vein. Just one. Was that guy got Dragon Breath Chili? Level 33. Sounds about right. Tell you what the server does need. More people with the balls to go war mode. Or they just need to completely delete the PvP server and remake it. But this time, don't make it lame. Make it just like this, but with PvP. I still get so mad that they did that, dude. Like, well, we're only gonna have one PvP server. Why don't we make it a boosted XP rate so that nobody's in the game world? Huh. Yeah, because clearly the only thing distinguishing a PvP server from a PvE server is that there's world PvP. So it would make sense that we would then make the level rate way boosted so that people aren't even in the world that long to be involved in world PvP on the only server with world PvP. It's like, I imagine that's how the conversation went. And then everybody that was in that meeting had been just huffing jankum like nonstop all day long. They didn't want to take a single breath that wasn't huffing from the jankum balloon, you know? That was their goal for that day. Side goal, design the PvP server. Yeah, dude. Like I said, that friend of mine, he was trying to get me to play um, TBC Anniversary, and I was considering it, but then it was like everything I was hearing about it was just like, oh, like it was just one thing after another. Because I didn't know that it was all just one like 100,000 player mega server with layers. So world bosses and stuff like that are completely on lock. You can't, the guilds that handle it all, they have scouts on every layer, and if it's someone like Kazakh, they'll if he spawns at a time when they can't get their guild together to take him down, they will send out suicide teams to go and just let Kazakh kill them so that he gets buffed and buffed and buffed to the point where no one can kill him. And it's just, I was like, good. And then they're releasing everything post nerf, and it was just, yeah. What's the problem? I don't understand what the problem is with realms. Like, shit. It's not like they needed that many. They could still have big servers, But, or even, you know what? There's nothing wrong with a mega server. Just make it so that there's a lockout on Lord Kazakh by the account. So, if I have 7 level 70s all in the same guild or whatever, and my guild's trying to lock down Kazakh, if I go and I kill Kazakh on one of my characters, none of the other characters on my account can kill him for a certain amount of time. Or can even, engage him or something. Make it to where, if I even try, I get ported off to GM Island or something. Because I keep seeing clips and it looks fun. Like, I do miss Burning Crusade. I did love Burning Crusade. But I just think I have more fun here. Even, I don't know, I mean, I don't know. I would like playing Burning Crusade. I just didn't want to spend like $70 for a boost or whatever. Dude, is anybody seeing this? There are just no pin nodes anywhere. Hmm. Ready to go up here. I remember up here there's a couple spawns. Seeing all this iron, and I guarantee you, as soon as I hit... Oh, nice. As soon as I hit... Ah! As soon as I hit 125, I'll walk right back through this same path, and there won't be a single one of these iron nodes up. But, you know... You'll be up real high, aren't you? Nope, it's right here. Please, please, please. Fuck it all, dude. Fuck everything. I'm gonna go in my room, listen to Slipknot. I know there's another node. I think I'd be better going this way. That still bothered me. Good lord. Took a sip, drink went down the wrong pipe like 5 minutes ago, and I'm still feeling like a little tingle every now and then. I just want to be done. I just want to get to where I can mine iron so I can just move on. Check. I'm gonna get close to this pillar and see around here. I'm gonna check there. It's copper. I'll grab it anyway. 2 copper. Grab those. Copper. I'll grab that. Yeah, whoever thought, hey, let's make you have to mine 10 in order to progress, but let's make it to where the spawns are like a 50-50 between copper and tin. Like that would, if that's fine, split it, that's fine. But make it to where you can level up off copper too. then it wouldn't be a problem. Because once you get into iron and you're in a area that's like, you know, level 30 and up, it's all iron other than the rares. But when it's like you go from just copper to then now it's going to be 50-50 copper and tin. It's so stupid. Or alternatively, make it to where while you're in this level range, make copper yellow or make tin yellow to you, not green. Because having it be like a split spawn and then also be green so that you have a low chance of even getting a skill up, that's just like punishment on punishment. Did I even get that buff? So I always get down in the dumps when it's like when I'm right here, like right at the edge. It's almost over, but then every single node is not getting me a skill up, so it's just prolonging my suffering. It's prolapsing my suffering. Yeah, fuck, might as well get some XP. Damn, yeah, it usually spawns right there. And it fell off. Wonderful. No, we're gonna get it. Gonna have to go back in that dungeon. I'd like to see what other kind of pieces they got in there. Got shoulders and a helmet. Ooh. I hate this game.
struggling.
Oh, fuck it. I think I might just buy some silver ore. Yeah, fuck it. Alright, I gotta eat dinner. I'll be back after